and welcome. You're watching Head to Head. My name is Antonina Antosha and I'm working with UATV. 2019 was the year that characterized by various political processes. The presidential and parliamentary elections were the main internal political factors affecting the situation in the country. So how successful was the year of 2019 for Ukraine? To discuss this, we're joined in the studio today by Dimitri Vasylev. He's a political expert. Hello and thank you for joining us.
Hello, thank you for
So I'm going to be outlining the main things that happened in the political sphere of Ukraine over 2019. So the government undertook key reforms, including enhancing the transparency of public procurement, simplifying business regulations, moving forward on health and pension reforms, establishing anti-corruption agencies. Also, people became disillusioned by the lack of meaningful process in some of the key areas. Lack of trust in public institutions was the most fundamental. In April, Ukraine fundamentally changed political course. Current President Volodymyr Zelensky was elected on April 21st, 2019, winning 73% of the vote. After his inauguration, Zelensky dissolved the parliament and called for snap elections. On July 21st, President Zelensky, servant of the People Party, won the parliamentary elections, yielding 60% of the seats in the Rada and formed the government. So how successful was the 2019 for Ukraine?
Well, from that list which you read just now, I think one of the reform which is very successful, and I think it is one of the most important fundamental reform for Ukraine, is decentralization. And I think with this reform there is a huge progress, basically transforming Ukraine from Soviet Republic to a new modern European state. So I think that is also very successful reform. And when we're talking about political efforts to change this country for good and better, this reform is very good. And of course, we have a flourishing democracy. Who can imagine that in a not democratic state we could change the president during the election, who was one of the most kind of strong president in this country, very politically strong, economically strong, had a lot of power in the government and in the parliament, and all of a sudden we have a president who is not trained to be president, who is not a politician at all, who is just a famous person, an actor, who played president in one of the TV serial in this country.
Why such a drastic change? Why did why did Ukrainian people decide to turn this page in the history all of a sudden? It wasn't expected.
I think in many ways this is information policy, because what this political party and different political forces in this country have done, they've tried to represent our ex-president Petro Poroshenko as the president who lied to nation, who actually tried to earn money during his presidency, and in fact earn money during the war. During the open aggression of Russia against Ukraine. So in these terms, I think that was a very bad PR towards our previous president, Petro Poroshenko, which made him impossible to win during this presidential campaign. On one hand, and on the other hand, I think our nation is very flexible. So they decided that they can change our political arena in such a drastic way that by electing a person who is not trained to be a politician, not trained to be president, could change the country for good, because they believed just in one person and his idea he came with. And in fact, our president, Volodymyr Zelensky, didn't promise too much. That were his speakers, some people from his political party, and some other people who were some sort of his team members who told something as a reflection about what is possible to do in this country. People believe that this is something which is proposed by our candidate and now our president Volodymyr Zelensky, and just believed in him. And I think that was an incredible turnout with 73 percent of people who voted for our new president. So I think it is something new for not only for Ukraine but also for our region and perhaps globally not very common.
Well, there are cases in the history when actors or entrepreneurs became politicians, took leading roles in the political life of a country, and they turned out to be positive. That. Hopefully, we are going to join that set of examples. On December 6th, the Verkhovna Rada of 9th Convocation marked the first 100 days of its work. And one of the main achievements that has been voiced about the progress of the latest convocation of the Verkhovna Rada is that these MPs were working in a turbo regime. Because they have voted for 86 legislative acts, which is 30% more than the Verkhovna Rada of the previous convocation did over the same time period. And here, the question arises of, was it quantity over quality?
A big question mark. In fact, I'm surprised that you're saying that they voted 30% more of legislation acts as the previous Verkhovna Rada during this half year. Because was that actually it's about 10% more, but perhaps I'm not right. Talking about the quantity, I think turbo regime was one of the political kind of technology to represent a speed of this new Verkhovna Rada, turbo regime speed, as they say, in order to pass the most difficult law, which is not possible to pass even now, after half a year of activities of this Verkhovna Rada, because there were changes in the constitution about the number of MPs for the future Verkhovna Rada. There were changes in immunity of MPs in Ukraine.
That's still an issue.
It's still an issue because there are some legislation they have to redo. But in fact, it is done in the constitution changes, which is remarkable because every political party who were going to the parliament over the last 10 years, they promised to diminish the immunity, and this is only the first Verkhovna Rada who actually did it in the constitution. And there are many other laws which were taken very quickly to make sure that actually there will be enough voices for this. And now, when we understand that there are at least 3 different groups in the majority of Verkhovna Rada, in fact, this is mono majority because this is only one political party, Sluga Narodu, as a party which is the party of the president, in fact. And we understand that there are many different laws, especially difficult laws like a law about the land law, about the market of land. It is difficult to actually to make sure that there will be enough voices in this political party to vote for the land reform. Today, this morning, I spoke with Irina Vereshchuk. It is one of the MPs from Sluga Naroda, and she was very particular, saying about that we will stand on the land, even lie on the land when it is necessary, and we will not give to pass the law which is proposed by one of the person from Sluga Naroda, in fact. And it means that actually there are a lot of conversations, and I think there will be a lot of disputes and discussions inside of the majority, and it can lead, in fact, to a breaking down of the party from inside.
Is it possible? Do you think that it's possible that the party breaks down?
I think, you know, as our first president, Leonid Kravchuk, told, it is everything what is possible in Ukraine. That's why everything is possible. Everything is possible. But my guesstimate that it will not break out, the party will not break, will be broken down from inside. or broken apart, it will be actually coming to a situation when it will be difficult to vote for necessary laws. Especially it will be difficult when the law can be proposed by the president, but his party doesn't vote for this.
Right.
And then I think it will be a question mark for the president whether he wants to keep the cabinet of ministers, who is not too successful, and we have to accept it. And this political crisis, what he has inside of his party in the parliament. And I think it can lead to a situation when he will tell that we need to change cabinet and we need to change the parliament. It can be.
That's possible.
It's one of the probability.
What would you say was the biggest achievement for Ukraine in 2019 concerning the political arena? Achievement. Was it the
Inside
presidential?
or outside of Ukraine?
Well, it could be on the international political arena. It's your point of view.
Well, the main achievement what we have, it's a flourishing democracy. Because to change the president in this situation in the country, and from very experienced and powerful president like Petro Poroshenko to unexperienced politician and, as we say, unprepared president Volodymyr Zelensky, it is something which can make me crazy. But
all right, what's the fail then?
What is the fail?
You're right.
You're asking about the fails. Excuse me.
No.
I
asked you about the achievement, and you said that it was drastic change in the leader of the country. Now I want to hear about the fail.
Well, in fact, when we're talking about the new government, when we're talking a new political arena in Ukraine, the biggest problem what we have is the promises what we received from the President Zelensky when he was candidate, and the promises which we received from the cabinet of ministers and Prime Minister Goncharuk, they are not fulfilled. We don't see that it's a finish of poverty in the country, but it was some sort of promised. We don't see that actually there are drastic downshift of the tariffs. No, they're almost the same. There's no too much of changes.
In some cases, I would say in the contrary.
We don't see that economic growth which was promised by Prime Minister Goncharuk. We don't see, in fact, that the new political party doesn't act as those parties who were many times in the parliament, and we call them old parties from old political arena of Ukraine. Because they have, as we call in Ukraine, knopkodavstvo.
Right.
It means that actually some friends
voting
who sits near to those people who are not in the parliament building right now, they can vote for anybody else who is not present there. So in these terms, these political parties show that actually they're the same. Doesn't matter they're new, doesn't matter they're first time. These people are first time in the parliament, but actually they're the same. There are a lot of scandals about, some people from political party of Sluga Naroda. So, in these terms, I think this is a fail of our expectation about the new politicians who could come and act totally in a different way, when we compare them with old political parties or old political leaders. So they can be the same, in fact, and this is the fail, I think. And talking about international arena, I don't see too much of fails. The only something which was very expected by Ukrainians, and especially those Ukrainians who have voted for our new president, Volodymyr Zelensky, they've been expecting that actually there will be a very soon and quick decision about the peace building process in Ukraine.
Well, President Zelensky did promise to end the war.
He promised to end the war. But as a matter of fact, after Normandy meeting, we don't see that we finished the war. In fact, status quo is totally the same as it used to be with the President Poroshenko.
Yes. Anyway, I have a quote here by a well-known political scientist and writer, Francis Fukuyama, who said, "It does seem to me that we who live in democracies owe it to the people of Ukraine to support them, because if they fail, it's going to have repercussions way beyond Ukraine."
Yes, absolutely.
How would you explain that?
Absolutely, yes. I support the idea of Francis Fukuyama, and I think he's totally right. Because even when we reflect what is going on right now, when we try to stop Russian aggression towards Ukraine, we protect not only our country. As a matter of fact, we protect European environment. Because what Ukraine tries to do, Ukraine tries to build a modern European state. And protecting ourselves, we protect European values and democratic values. And that is extremely important for the future, because if we're strong enough and we are protected, we can fight for ourselves, we can also fight for democracy, and we can fight for European values. And in these terms, I think we fight for Ukraine, and at the same time we are fighting for Europe and for democracy worldwide.
In general.
And in these terms, I think Europeans and democratic world, they do pretty much, but I think they don't do enough. They don't do enough to stand together with us and to make sure that actually they are the same in their will to protect democracy and in their will to protect European values.
Thank you so much for coming here today. It was a very interesting conversation.
Likewise.
That was Dimitri Vasylev. He's a political expert. Thank you so much for watching Head to Head. My name is Antonina Antosha. Stay tuned with UATV for more.